Okay, you need to consider that for investing in real estate or corporate or portfolio, it's not the same if the interest party it's a foreigner or a national. It's not the same. It's starting because the funds that the foreigner is going to bring, they are not come from an activity in Colombia. So all of the funds has to be legalized and studied and approved by central bank here in Colombia. So it's not the same. And he cannot proceed transferring directly to Colombia, to the seller's account, for example, because it's basically forbidden. There is a strong regulation by central bank that forbids direct transfers without legalization. The legalization of the funds is the main point before even proceeding any investment in Colombia.
Okay, so as you said, there is a very careful process because of the this money laundering. So the Colombian government is very strict in how people is getting the money. So also I have heard that many people um, when they stay overstayed in the city in the country with the permit, the tourism permit, they cannot also bring the money during their extra time in the country. They have to leave the country and then bring the money in.
It's a matter of being, this is a different aspect or concept between the investment procedure. This is matters more for the visa processes. So the person has to be regular in the country. So if the foreigner overstays in the country, it means that the stamp that migration stamp first when the foreigner enters the country is no longer valid. So they need to regularize their state, and that's extremely important. Well, first, because if the foreigner wants to apply for a visa, the first thing that they're going to request is a stamp, and they are going to realize if the person is regular or irregular staying in Colombia. But for the concept of the investment, the primary regulation is that the foreigner cannot, or us as the legal representative, cannot file an investment form as a foreign investment if the foreigner is a resident in Colombia. So once the non-resident status get lost, so he cannot proceed registering funds in central bank as a foreign investment, because it's not a foreign investor anymore. It's residents already.
That's clear enough. Okay, so another question is how long it takes from the very first contact with the investment account broker and when they can transfer the money in to the country. How long it takes, more or less, according to your experience?
It hovers regarding the activity. It hovers regarding how organized the foreigner is, because the intermediary that is responsible of studying the funds or the documentation that they require to legalize funds in Colombia, they will send like a list and a whole bunch of requirements. So he needs to have that, and if he doesn't have it, then it can take longer than expected. Usually it can take around 2 or 3 weeks. If the person takes way longer to provide the whole documentation or information, well, it's going to take longer than that. But it's in between that term.
Okay, so we're talking between 3 weeks up to 2 months.
A month, yeah.
A month,
yes.
Okay. So
a month or 2 months.
it's good to take that time into account. And when one person is denied in one company, they can submit the documents through another company trying to get the investment account opened.
There are several options for the foreigner to transfer funds in Colombia. It's not simply, there's a specific reasons for that intermediary to deny opening the account. And if they find a very strong reason not to do it, basically the other intermediary can find the same option. For example, if the whole funds or the whole concept of the investment is for Bitcoins or similar to the Bitcoins, sometimes that is not enough proof for the intermediary to prove that the investment or the funds are legal, because Bitcoins, obviously the history, it cannot be tracked, so that's why it's a little complicated. But when it's just a part and the other part of the funds are proof in a different activity, then it can be studied in a different way. I mean, they have a lot of requirements to just simply request the foreigner prove enough that your activity or the funds are legal. That's the whole meaning of the whole study that they need to make, that your activity is legal, that the funds are legal, and what you're saying is legal. If it comes for an heritage, then it's legal, etc. That's it.
Got it. So is a lawyer required the whole process to open the account and do it and to open the account to bring the money in?
No, it's not required, but it's obviously advised, because there's tons of protections and obviously knowledge that the attorney already knows how to do so. The foreigner is not specialized in foreign investment in Colombia. So the rightful way to do it is, I will advise you to hire an attorney specialized in foreign investment to do so. Not any attorney can also do it if their specialty is not foreign investment. But if he knows how to do it, he doesn't have to do it through an attorney. Just it's simply advised, because again, the responsibility relies on the person that first proceed with the whole investment process. So if the superintendency requires 2 years or 3 years later on, after the investment was registered, then the attorney has responsibility to reply to the superintendency to whatever requirement they are making.
Got it. So the best advice we can give to our clients is they should start with the opening of the investment account first, and then as long as they can prove and have everything organized, it will take 3 weeks to open the account, and then right after they have everything in order, they can go out and look at properties. So it will give you more power of negotiation, save time, and we can be more productive if we do it that way. And the other advice that I would do, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, they should have a lawyer from the very beginning of the process, because you can do everything in order to get the visa at the end. When they got the titles of the property, then you can start to get the visa. Is it right?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes our clients, when they contact us, is that they contact us sometimes very late on the process, and they without the knowledge, they proceed with a direct deposits because they think that it's a small deposit and there is no issue doing it, but that's incorrect. The whole percentage, the whole amount of the investment has to be legalized in central bank. So no deposits, no percentage without any documentation prior to legalization should be done. So it is obviously advised that the foreigner contacts simply by consultant, that's it, to avoid any mistake since the beginning, before proceeding with anything, without proceeding with signing anything, because once the foreigner proceeds signing, then it's compromised, and then he needs to comply with any deposit or any percentage for the promissory contract, and we can prevent a lot of mistakes that are done because the no consultation prior to that.
Okay, Laura, so I guess this is the general idea, how to bring the money in. Thank you so much for your time, for coming and telling us all of this information. And please feel free to give us our email or phone number if somebody wants to talk to you and give you more information.
Of course, yeah. You can contact me in www.isalegalservices. You can write it down. Nowhere.
I will do it.
Or okay, and yeah, the consultation is free. There is no commitment just because you consult us how to do the process, and we can guide you through the whole investment process without an inconvenience.
Hey, that's true for the real estate purchase. If you need some advice, there is a very first meeting that is not charged, it's for free, so we can talk and discuss your plans, and then you can make the right decision. Okay, Laura, bye-bye. Have a great day, and thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bye, everybody.